of course, whenever I get a lot of comments and feedback and stuff from you guys, I do like to go through the comments. And so I did want to go through a few of these. Oh, hold on. There was this one video. I don't know if I reacted to your guys' feedback on this. I'm going to pull these comments up as well. It's not like super old, but it's an older-ish video. The Dr. Disrespect one. I can't remember if I talked about this one. Actually, no, I do remember talking about this one, so I'm not going to do that. All right, so I saw that you guys had left a bunch of feedback for me in some of my most recent videos, and not some of my most recent videos. So I'm going to go over the stuff that you guys have had to say about my content, and I'll react to it and give, like, you know, clarifications, context, any sort of thing that's also needed. So there's this video that I had made almost a year ago called "Why is Christian Rapper Zonti Flexing Grills and Silver Chains on Social Media?" And if you guys didn't end up seeing the videos, I want to say, did I include them in this? I'm pretty sure I included them in this video. No, hold on, let me make sure my audio is correct. Okay, yeah. Check this. I am shocked that in the about it, because it's been like kind of behind the scenes. Hold on. Okay, you know, this is the music that he makes. I don't need to play I don't need to play Zonti's music for you guys. You guys, if you're watching this video, probably are already familiar with Zonti, or his music anyways. God Superstar, all of that. But here is the video that sort of raised alarm bells in my mind. It was like, oh, that's kind of weird. It's like a red flag. Here it is. It's really just that. But this is the main I think catalyst for a lot of criticism that Zonti's been getting lately. And by the way, he was getting a lot of criticism at the time for this. I remember in the comment section, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And the majority of comments were negative as well. But this is the video sort of that sparked all of that, just for context.
Man, it's King of Things right here. You know, God Superstar. This will be the biggest superstar for 2024. You know how it do.
Hard work God first, yeah. Hard work God first, yeah. Hard work God first, yeah. To the day I'm in the dirt, yeah. Jesus Christ is Lord, yeah. I know who I serve, yeah.
You remember, yeah.
Come on. Yo, that's crazy, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think my general analysis of this was, it's kind of weird, you know, if you are a Christian rapper going out there flexing and being like, oh, look, I went and bought this expensive jewelry. Look, I'm all like iced out. I got all these diamonds and chains and things. It just was like a weird look. Not to say that if you're a Christian, you can't wear chains. If you're a Christian, you can't wear jewelry. But it seemed like a bit of a flex to be like, look at me, I'm going to the jeweler. This is like the most premier jeweler. I think this guy, Johnny Dang or whatever, is like one of the most premier jewelers and dealers of this type of jewelry. So it's like very premium levels of jewelry as well. It's not just no simple chain or anything like that. Extremely iced out grills, iced out chain. It just seemed like a bit much for him to be doing, and also running around calling himself God Superstar and all this. Seemed very like braggadocious, and not and even like a little bit extra even for rap, because, you know, rap naturally, you know, people brag a little bit and flex or whatever about their skills and things, but this just seemed to be above and beyond that. It's also above and beyond anything I've ever seen a Christian rapper do. So that's why I had mentioned it in this video, kind of asking the question, why is he flexing grills and silver chains on social media? I know he did an interview with Rapzilla talking about it. Maybe I'll react to that interview at some point, but I just haven't yet. Now, apparently some of Zonti's fans found my video last week because I got a couple comments kind of closely together. I'm assuming these are his fans. I don't think it's like his manager or anything. But because I know in like one post that he made, he had some dude who was like defending him super heavily in the comment section, and people are like, hey, are you his manager? And he wasn't responding to those comments. But here are some of the comments that I got. So there's one from Angelina Hendo. It says, hi, my name is Angelina. Hi, Angelina. Nice to meet you. And I am a zealot who loves Zonti's music. Zealot, I think, is the name of like his fans or whatever. I've got the Bread Gang. He's got the Zealots. He is God's child. No apostrophe or anything there. Or comma. People shouldn't judge because people shouldn't judge because of his grills. You should look at his heart for God. And if you have a problem with his grills, I have gold braces to show off that if people want to judge others because of how they look, you should at least go to his concert first before judging you. Okay. I think his grills are cool, so I am encouraging people in the comments to stand up for him, to stand up against this hate. If you're a zealot, please stand up and say what you think. This guy is wrong. My sister, I met him in person and says he's so sweet and kind-hearted. He is all for God, like his music says. Go and listen to his new song Sinner. Oh, is this all these comments promoting a new song? Did he literally drop a new song? Wait, when did he drop his most recent song? That's so weird. Hold on. What's Zanti's latest song? Actually, I should probably be opening up Spotify, but it is what it is. Whatever. I did see Sinner there, but when did Sinner come out? 4 months ago. So it's not even that new of a song. Okay, still a bit strange though. But yeah, so, my only thing about this is, first of all, you don't have to go to somebody's concert to like be like, the way that person's acting is a little bit strange. And I think I actually hedged myself quite a bit. I was like, this guy might not be doing this out of pride or out of arrogance or whatever, but it just, the way that it seems off. That's all I was saying, because I can't judge the guy's motives. He could very well just be like, I don't even know. Because Johnny Dang is such a prominent content creator, this very clearly was content. Maybe he was like, well, maybe I will try to do some crossover for Johnny Dang's audience. They'll see me, they will check out my content, my music, and I think Johnny Dang's audience is overwhelmingly non-Christian. So maybe he viewed it as a gospel opportunity, a way to spread the gospel to those viewers. And if that's what he was trying to do, I sort of get that. But still, it just, from the outside looking in, it just seemed like a bit much. I'm not condemning him at all. I'm just saying that it's a bad look. This is from Gwendolyn Hendall. Wait, the same person. Wait. Oh, these are siblings or something. That's so strange though. I've never seen like one person be like, oh yeah, my sister, listen to what my sister said, and then the sister being there in the comments. That's kind of interesting. Gwendolyn Hendall says, hey, I am a huge fan of Zanti, and I seen this video and just wanted to say, number one, appearance doesn't matter because God looks at the heart. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll keep reading this. Okay. Number one, appearance doesn't matter because God looks at the heart, and second of all, the Bible says that. No, not the two sisters with the surface level theology. No. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna read this all the way through again. Okay, hold on. Hey, I'm a huge fan of Zanti, and I've seen this video and just wanted to say, number one, appearance doesn't matter because God looks at the heart, and second of all, the Bible says not to judge, and third of all, I met him in person. He is the kindest, sweetest, most genuine Christian rapper that I've ever met. Hashtag zealot gang all day. Okay, maybe they are zealots, that's for sure. But look, okay, I'll go down your theological your two theological bullet points. To say appearance doesn't matter because God looks at the heart. You can still look at the way that's. It's not about appearance. This is not about appearance at all, right? If he's wearing grills, I don't care. If he's wearing a chain, I don't care. This is mostly about him sort of like going to the jewelers, being like, hey guys, look, I'm iced out with some of the most expensive jewelry one could possibly get. See how much money I made from all this touring, all these performances. Look at how rich I am. I can afford to get all these crazy silver grills and chains. That's kind of what it felt like watching that video. That's sort of like the message that I got from the video that he made with Johnny Dang. I don't care about the appearance, but also when it goes to the second part where it says the Bible says not to judge, you could still look at someone's actions and being like, hey, that seems like off the behavior for a believer to do. Right? You could still just like critique someone's actions or say, hey, it looks like that person is behaving in a certain way. So I think it's not outside the bounds of reason to see someone doing things that look kind of like what someone who is like prideful and arrogant and trying to flex would do, and being like, hey, you look like you're being prideful and you look like you're flexing. Not necessarily saying that that's what he's doing. I think it was very clear in the initial video. I'm not saying that that's what he's doing. I'm just saying that's what it looks like, and it's a bit odd to me because you don't see Christian rappers doing it very often. That's all I was saying. And I think that I was within my rights to say that. It didn't seem out of bounds in my opinion. Of course, so I'm going to be biased because I'm me, but that's just kind of where I was coming from in this video. All right, so we have a comment on this video as well. This is my video, Vivek Ramaswamy debates Steven Crowder on ethnic pride, and it did not go how I expected. That was a wild ride. So here, John F. Are these like AI titles, or AI usernames? These are weird usernames. Anyways, this person, we'll call him John, says, I am Indian that was born in the US and I was a huge Trump supporter, and when I saw how no one really came to Vivek's defense, I realized some Republicans vote based on if you're a white Christian male, not based on your political beliefs. I jumped off Republican vote from there. Okay. This is a really good critique of the Republican Party. And I think this is a lesson that the left as well as the right, but the right should definitely be learning from moments like these. I don't think that there was much discussion about this moment in political history. I don't know if anyone even remembers what this was about. This was about Vivek Ramaswamy's interview with, I believe it was Ann Coulter, where she basically said, I wouldn't vote for you because you're not white or you're not Christian, or whatever it was that she said. Why is there someone spamming in my chat? Claire, and what is this? I've never seen chat messages like this before. Hold on, wait a second. I think I might have something for you. Give me a moment. Claire Bryant, I mean, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing okay. Hold on, wait. Let me look this up. Because I think what I'm about to pull up here might be a little bit relevant. Okay, hold on. Here we go. All right, there we go.
When it comes to stroke, unfortunately, a lot of people, men in particular, don't tend to recognize the symptoms of a stroke. Only about a third of people actually know what the symptoms of a stroke are, including people, unfortunately, who even had a stroke before. So really important that for men and women, but for men in particular, we want them to know the stroke symptoms that occur. So we use an acronym to talk about stroke symptoms, and this is something I want men to be particularly aware of. So we use an acronym called BFAST. B stands for balance, if you're having difficulty with your balance when you're walking. E stands for eyes, so any kind of visual problem, having difficulty seeing or losing vision in an eye. And then fast, F standing for face, if there's droopiness in the face on one side or the other. A standing for arm, so any weakness of the arm, or potentially if you have any kind of weakness in the leg, that would also apply as well. And then S standing for speech, so speech difficulty getting your words out or slurring your words. And then that leads us to the T, which is time. That means, again, time to call 911, get to medical attention right away, as soon as possible.
Okay, so I figured I would go through that. I don't know if you're having a stroke. These, I feel like, they're the types of messages that someone would send if they were having a stroke. But I figured it would be fair to mention, you know, if you think you're having a stroke, call 911. Yeah, that's the main message. Sorry, I saw a flurry of those chat messages. I'm like, something doesn't seem right. You know, hey. If you're having a stroke, now you know what to do, okay? Now, back to the topic at hand. So here's the thing about this, right? And this is something that I've sort of learned while I have navigated the American sort of like political landscape, as well as others have navigated the American political landscape, is that you are never going to find one group, or maybe you'll find a group, but you're never going to find one political party that will accurately represent all of your interests. I remember back in the late 2010s trying to figure out, like as I was having to be registered to vote or whatever, trying to figure out which political party I would sign up for. I've always leaned to the right, at least on social issues, but when I sort of was becoming more interested and aware of politics, I was sort of like doing that in the wake of the Tea Party movement, the Tax Enough Already movement. If you guys don't remember that, it was sort of like a bizarro world version of Occupy Wall Street, except it was like basically Occupy Wall Street stuff, right-wing libertarian, more or less. It was all focused on shrinking the government, having balanced budgets, those type of things, but it's not full libertarian. Like, they didn't want to like allow you to give your babies LSD or something, like, you know what I mean? So I was looking at that. I was like, okay, the Republican Party is pretty dope. And then after a while, I was just observing what Congress was doing, continually passing all of these spending bills that were adding to the government debt rather than reducing government debt. And I was like, well, these people don't represent my interests. Why would I join the Republican Party if they are not pushing my interests? And then after a while, I was like, well, hold on. The Democrat Party is not pushing my interests either. And what do I want out of my participation in the political process? Do I want to just join a club of the people who agree with me? Or do I want to look at the largest group that is most closely aligned with my values and push them into the direction of doing what I want them to do politically, to put it in basic terms, let's say. And I was like, well, obviously that would be the Republican Party, because the Republican Party does not accurately represent me as a person necessarily. They are as close as I'm gonna get to having a party that represents me and my political values and being relatively aligned with my worldview, as much as the Republican Party could be aligned with a Christian. So that's why I joined the Republican Party. So what I want to say to you, John, is that don't let these bad actors in the Republican Party make you leave the Republican Party. If anything, the Republican Party needs people like you to push against racism from fringe members of the party, such as Ann Coulter. Because I think without you, the issue that you observe just gets worse, right? Without people like me voting for people who are in favor of reducing government spending, for example, spending in the Republican Party just going to keep on going up. Without people like you pushing back against anti-Indian racism in the Republican Party, then, you know, the Republican Party is going to continue to push against people like Vivek Ramaswamy just because of his heritage and just because of his beliefs. So that's what I would say to you. Don't let things like that scare you from the Republican Party. And also, I would say the same thing to members on the left as well, even though the people I would say that to, they would be quite radical, and I would be like mostly in opposition to you politically, is, hey, you know, don't let the neoliberals in the Democrat Party scare you away either, because they're the closest people that exist to pushing your political agenda. So you should team up with the people who are closest and then bring them even closer to where you want them to be. Also, so I hope, John, I hope that answers your question. If you had other thoughts, please leave them down in the comments below. I'd like to hear them. I forgot about this video as well. So this is one of my recent videos. This is called "The Wisecrack Guys Lying to You About Toxic Empathy." I'm glad that this one is doing numbers for me. You know, double digits is numbers for me. If I'm doing numbers, if I'm getting double digits, let's be honest. I'm glad this one is sort of getting some views, because Michael Burns, the wisecrack guy, as I called him, he did some very blatant lying in this video. I was absolutely stunned and reeling afterwards. Like, dude, it takes a certain level of content creation to make an 8-minute video that I spend 47 minutes reacting to. Absolutely bonkers video. And I'm glad that I even got enough views to get some comments as well. So we got this comment here from Mason Darden. It says, at the end of the day, empathy can easily be turned into fear, and that fear can make it easy for people to follow. What you said with some of those examples of people abusing systems or things the left promotes, even though it's not spread, they take your empathy of someone overdosing on a patch of drugs or something else and place fear to whoever group did it. Therefore, you lose empathy for that group of people. To sum it up, this is a good way of dividing people and making them fight over arguments on a group versus group instead of individual basis. Correct, right? And one thing that people on both sides of this argument completely forget is that you could have empathy for both sides and still promote a policy that makes one side feel bad or makes them cry. You can still do that. Like you could still have empathy for illegal immigrants, for example, right? Coming over to the country and doing a dangerous and harrowing journey in pursuit of a better life, and still deport them, right? Because, you know, you're in pursuit of justice and folks abiding by the law and all that stuff, right? So empathy does not necessarily map onto supporting policies that you agree with, and that was generally my thesis in this video as well. But what Mason Darden points out is very important as well, which is it's a big tool where especially the left does this, but the right does this as well. They will go like, oh, you can't sympathize with this person because they're bad or whatever. Like they would never tell you to sympathize with a Tesla car owner who's got their car keyed by a radical progressive, right? Like they would never tell you to do that. So their empathy is selective as much as they claim that it's all encompassing. Actually, Unaware said, I think it's interesting that he brought up the book Sin of Empathy because the only discourse I've heard about it is Christians disagreeing with it and deriding its message. Well, I gotta say this, right? Now, I haven't heard much discourse about the book, to be fair, but and Michael Burns lied about this book. He said, well, he made it seem like the majority of people were disagreeing with the content of the book when the majority of people actually liked the book. But if you just go to the reviews, this book has 91% 5-star reviews. Now, I don't know if these reviews were paid or whatever, but this guy got, 90, or not guy, it's Ali Bestucky, but Ali Bestucky got 91% 5-star reviews on this book, as much as Michael Burns from Wisecrack tried to make it seem like she didn't. So I think it's a bit misleading to even say that the majority of conversations or perception of regarding this book is negative, because the majority of people who read the book really, really liked it. So I'm not even sure how much I agree or believe this comment. For those of you who feel like leaving comments on my videos, I greatly appreciate it. You guys give me some interesting things to talk about. You guys point out, I think, some more intelligent, you guys make more intelligent points than even some of the people that I'm reacting to in these videos do. So I really love that you guys are adding to the discourse and giving me something better to react to than some of these people that I react to on the streams. Keep it up if you feel like it. When you guys leave, a few comments or whatever, then I'll do another video reacting to your guys' comments. If it gets to be too much or whatever, then maybe I'll do something. But for now, the volume of comments is so small that I'm able to make these videos. So I am enjoying this. Please leave comments if you feel so obligated. Feel so inclined, whatever. Anyways,